bodies and resumed its wretched screams. It ran, tripping and screaming, through the doors of the store and left. It was silent once again. The manager, who had been taking cover behind the counter this whole time, stood up and got a look at the carnage herself. I could tell by her face that something inside her had died when she saw the dismembered bodies of her co-workers. But she said nothing about it. Instead, she turned to me and asked, "Where's the phone?" I turned off my cell phone flashlight and put it back in my pocket before walking over to the mess of merchandise and blood at the back of the store. I picked up the store phone and walked it to the front, handing it to the manager, who hadn't moved, still staring in horrid disbelief at the bodies in front of her. She took it and began conversing with someone on the other end. I stayed where I was, not having the guts to look behind me and see it again. After about 30 seconds of a conversation, from which I could understand nothing, and one I wasn't paying much attention to in the first place, the manager let out another sigh, this one of relief, and muttered, "Okay, thank God. How long?" More talking from the other end. Okay, I can do that. There's still one other alive. I'll have him watch out for your arrival." With that, the manager set down the phone and looked at me with drained and tired eyes. "I need you to stand by the door and watch for the black SUVs to pull up. Let me know when they get here. Yell to me and I'll tell you if they're the team we're expecting. If they're not, hide. I need to do something in the back." She picked up the phone again and headed to the back of the store. I didn't feel like asking any more questions. I figured that whoever this team was, they must be our way out of this nightmare. I walked over and stood in front of the automatic doors, looking outside. I couldn't see anything but the typical street I knew, but with no one on it. All the time I waited, I could hear the manager tinkering with something in the back. It was here that I began to process everything I had just been through. It was too much. My thoughts and emotions ran wild in my head, but above all, I wanted to know what this was. For the next few minutes, I weighed the possibilities in my head and contemplated the merit of each of them, of any of them. None of them gave a clear explanation. I still don't have one. Eventually, the black SUVs pulled up and a mix of men in tactical gear with rifles and others in formal suits poured out. There were 4 or 5 cars and around 6 people emptied from each. I turned to the back of the store and yelled, "Hey, is this them? They're here." I received no response. "Hey!" I yelled again as I walked to the back of the store. At the end of the backmost aisle, the phone lay on the ground. I walked up to it in confusion and kneeled down to pick it up.